Hello and welcome to another life-changing episode of Navigating with Key. My name is Kenneth Enoja Senime, KEA, and I'm your regular host on this program. Sometime in January, I posted a couple of YouTube shorts about gratitude. You can find them in the channel's content list if you haven't seen them before. But today, I would like to expand on one of the stories I mentioned in the post. This is a real occurrence, and till today, it's a life defining moment for me. Today's article is titled Gratitude, and we'll look at its different shades and make meaning of this very important mind posture. So, if you're ready, let's hop into today's article. Let's do this. So, I often say I have many sides, and only a few people know all my sides. To some people, I'm that guy who worked in the banking sector for many years, while some see me as the ordained church leader who cares about people's needs and all. Some others know me as a printer and owner of a printing press. But today, people know me as a facility manager and maybe a YouTuber, but all these different experiences make me the man that I am and the brother, father, son, friend, colleague. In fact, it's a long list of how people see me. So today, I'll be telling you a story of something that happened when I was a banker. Are you ready for this? So I received my very first bonus as a banker 7 years into my career. So from year one to year seven, no bonus. It was just salaries to go home with. You know, at the time, I'd heard people being paid bonuses, but I never got to experience it. So when I received my first bonus, plus it was paid in USD, it felt very new and good. But the human mind, very soon it became an expectation every year for me. I looked forward to receiving a bonus amount even better than the previous year. You can't fault me for wanting more, right? So this particular year, I received the largest amount yet. And I was so thankful. My heart was so full of joy. I imagined all the good things I could do with the money. I was just there seated, busy spending and investing the money in my head when a colleague walked in and interrupted this beautiful thought I was having. He said, "Wow, you look really excited. You must have gotten a really good amount." Well, he was correct because, for the truth, that's the biggest amount I've ever received as a bonus. So, with smiles on my face, I said yes. So, he asked me how much. I'm not one to openly share all my life's occurrence like that. So, I decided not to give him the exact amount, right? But I just told him that, well, I got something better than what I've ever gotten before. He pushed a little to know exactly how much I was paid, but I didn't budge. So he respectfully left me alone. But it was his last statement as he left that rattled my world. He said, "Well, I can imagine how much you got because staff X got X amount. Now, who is staff X?" Because the knowledge of Staff X will help you put things in context. Staff X was a fairly new member of our team with whom we had worked and spent long weekends together producing reports, trying to get things done so that management would be proud of all of us. So when I heard how much Staff X was paid, which was almost twice what I got, by the way, my joy suddenly changed to contempt. I suddenly felt I was underpaid. I felt cheated. I felt like I was not being appreciated. I started crying foul play, like I've been undone by management. I couldn't understand why I was paid such a small amount. Suddenly, the money was no longer enough. Gratitude became despair in one split second. Joy became sadness. The excitement to call my spouse and let her know that I was paid such a great bonus died immediately. But you see, wisdom prevailed. Before I got lost in my grief, I caught myself in the moment and reminded myself that I was happy and satisfied just before I realized someone got paid better than I was. So immediately I asked God for forgiveness. I knelt down and said, God, forgive me for being ungrateful. Because in truth, whatever staff X got paid did not reduce the amount I got. I realized at that moment that I was becoming entitled. So I walked myself into the atmosphere of gratitude. I have a good friend who will always tell me this Yoruba proverb. And truth is, he has told me over 100 times. And each time he says it like it's the very first time. Now, this is the proverb. He says, everyone has been blessed. It's only that some people feel they have not been blessed enough. I'm trying to put the proverb right in my head. Yeah, that's it. So it says, everyone has been blessed, only that some people feel they have not been blessed enough. It's important to acknowledge what you have and be grateful for it. The issues of life most times come from situations where we begin to compare our lives to others. There is nothing wrong in aspiring for more. In fact, I want you to strive for more. But let it be because it's what you want and not because someone else has it. Don't buy a car because your neighbor has a car. Buy a car because you need it. And by the way, everybody needs a car, right? You can be inspired by someone's success. Don't look with the eyes of competition. Let the success inspire you to be who you are. Run your own race. Take steps. Baby steps are okay. Before you know it, you begin to run, but ensure you are running in your own tracks. Our journeys may be similar, but the details are totally different. You know, two families were traveling from one city to the other. It will usually take like 6 hours of driving, to get to the other city from the city where they took out from. So while the first family made the journey in 6 hours, it took the other family 13 hours. Now you'll be wondering, what were they doing on the road? Did they have like a breakdown or something like that? So the first family was bragging of how quickly they arrived and silently mocked the other family, saying they are so slow and all that. But the other family took 13 hours because they made several stops along the way to experience the different tourist sites. They had a better family time. They understood what the journey offered them. So the different cities in between these two cities, they experienced them. They went to the mall, they did this, they did that. And eventually, both families got to their destinations. You see, though it's the same trip, how we experience things are different. If you're taking anything away from today, let it be that your journey is unique to you. The way you experience life is particular to you. Be inspired by the progress of others. Let it motivate you to be who you are and not drive you to jealousy. When you adopt this mindset, you find out that you'll be grateful for every progress you make. Gratitude is the major ingredient you need for your success. Maintain a posture of gratitude and see yourself win every day in life. That's our article for today, and I'm sure someone is making that decision to switch to gratitude mode. It is a more robust way of living, and you'll be grateful when you find yourself living in the mode of gratitude. Things suddenly become easier. You find out that you'll be making the right choices, right? Yeah, life will become sweeter. Life will have better context for you. All right, so I want to say thank you for watching today's broadcast. If today's broadcast spoke to you, please share it with someone so we can together change the world one person at a time. So till I come your way next time, my name is Kenneth Eneljoa Senime, KEA, saying have a lovely week and bye bye.